Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be taking my IKEA shelf that looks like this and turning it into this. I'm going to break this video up into 4 parts. 1, the design, the trimming, painting the drawers, painting the unit, and then that was the 4, exactly. The reason why I'm going to break it up like this is because that's exactly how I transformed my unit. I kind of broke each piece into smaller tasks because it was quite a big transformation and there was a lot to do. And I could never dedicate one whole day to doing it, so that's how it went. Alright, starting off with the design process, obviously if you've clicked on this video, you maybe like my design, or maybe you're just sick of seeing this kind of design, which is pretty much the standard flip for the IKEA shelf unit that you see all over TikTok, all over Instagram, all over YouTube. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with this design. Like this design could look really nice in certain spaces. But if you do this, well, I would probably say you just have no taste because all you see is the TV. And this is the exact opposite look that I wanted because I wanted to draw attention away from having a TV on it. So having a white unit with a black TV, it would have just made it stand out. And then of course the whole entire room is white. Like this is just awful, in my opinion. So that's exactly why I didn't do it. If you're doing an IKEA flip, you're probably experimenting with your interior design because no interior designer is flipping IKEA shelves, right? Let's face it. We are together in this group of experimenting with our space, becoming a DIYer, DIYing things to try things out to see what we like. And so do this if you have to. If you have to make that mistake, then do it. But I'm just showing it to you now so you don't have to make that mistake. So a few other options that I came across that I really liked was this one, and it had the nice doors and I was sold on it. But then I realized this is not going to work for my space. And when you're designing anything, you want to think about the functionality. I use this unit. I keep calling it a unit. I use this IKEA shelf, DIY, flip, whatever, for storing my underwear, my socks, and I know it's in the living room, but I live alone, so I'm doing what I want. And so if I had to open the drawer to get my panties every morning, then I'd be adding one more task to my long to-do list, and I'm not going to be doing that. That's not happening. I ditched the door idea and decided to add some trimming. Here is some tricks for when you're adding trimming to anything. If you're going to be adding trimming and then painting, then draw on it, okay? And don't just draw the first idea that comes to mind. Draw an alternative idea. And this way, you could take a step back. You could look at the 2 trimming ideas and decide which one you like better. I ended up going for the square. I just found I liked it better. And that was my initial choice. So my instincts were right on this one, I think. So you're gonna wanna use a miter box to cut the pieces. And another little trick that I have is to use an item, whatever item you want. I used a quarter to measure out the distance that I needed. This is gonna make way more sense with the video, but I use the quarter to create an equal distance from each side, and then drew lines, and then from there I could then measure and cut my trimming accordingly. And then also, you know, now that you have the lines, you have a guide to make sure that you're putting them in the right place. Because the worst thing you're gonna do, like the way you're gonna mess it up, if you're gonna mess it up, is by adding trimming that's crooked or uneven or not level. That will be the biggest mistake. If you get the trimming right, then whatever color you choose, aside for painting it white and putting a black TV on it, whatever color you're choosing, you're gonna like it, it's gonna be good, and if it's not, you could just repaint it, whatever. The trimming is the hardest part because you're gonna glue that on. Now talking about glue, you're gonna wanna get the fastest drying glue. And the reason for this is we don't have time to waste in our life, so we're just, why get slow drying glue when you could get fast drying glue, right? So did I sell you on that one? Just get a fast drying wood glue and save yourself some time. The next day I went in and painted the drawers. I had to prime them first and then paint them. and then paint them 3 more times, okay? It's a big process. Put on some tunes, listen to a podcast, and you know, just realize that you're in too deep at this point. There's no way out. You have to continue. After the drawers dried, I could then I could add on the knobs. I could add on the knobs, and I went for these knobs. They were relatively cheap. They were like 12 bucks at HomeSense. I really wanted these ones, but you know what? It's an IKEA furniture, and we're not gonna forget that it's an IKEA furniture, so we're not gonna invest hundreds of dollars. These were double the price, so I went with the cheaper option, and you know what? That's my decision. That's what I decided, and I'm happy with it. So then for a few days, I had these drawers in the unit. It kind of looked so funny, but you know, it motivated me to get the rest done. So now day 3. Day 3, we're gonna add the legs on, and I bought these ones off Amazon. I really liked them. Can't remember, I think it's walnut. Anyways, I'll put it on the screen, the ones that I liked and bought. So I just realized now that these are supposed to be drilled in that way and not out that way, or else they create this indent that you have here. However, I don't have a drill, and that would push my project back another, I don't know, a few days, because I have to go to my dad's house to get one. So I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. They kind of are a little awkward right now, and at some point when I'm feeling it, I will borrow my dad's drill and fix it. But for now, you don't really see them, it doesn't matter. Moving on from the legs. I'm at 9 minutes, man. I am rambling. I've had a coffee, and I need to have 3 coffees before making a video so that I talk faster, because if not, I'm like the slowest talker ever. I am going to talk about the painting a little bit, and the painting is, you're going to want a primer. From my understanding, from talking to the guy at the store, is that if you get a cabinet, okay, listen, first off, you're going to need to get a special paint for cabinets. Do not just get a wall paint, it will not work. You need a cabinet paint, and you're going to need a primer if it needs a color. So if you get like a white or an off-white color, you don't need a primer, but if you add color, you need a primer. That's my understanding. If I have got that completely wrong and you want to let me know or let everyone else know, then head to the comments and let everyone else know. But that was my understanding from what the guy said, because I was pretty convinced I didn't need a primer, or maybe I just didn't want to do the extra step of priming. So I was trying to convince him, and he was like, no, madame, you are wrong, and whatever. Anyways, job's done, and I used the primer. Did it kill me? No, but did I fight it? Yes. So I don't know. Yeah. I'm so happy I didn't go with a light color. Look how boring that is. This space needs some color. It needs a pop. And I decided to go with this nice dark blue. I don't know, you probably already saw it, but if you haven't seen it, I don't know where I am in the video. If you haven't seen it, this is the blue I'm going with. And if you want a more sophisticated looking piece of furniture, go with like a desaturated, a more muted color. But still have a color, because then it's fun, but just mute it, basically. 3 more coats to go. 3 more coats to go. That's what I've come to realize. It's a long project. Okay, so the first coat of paint is done. So that means I have an hour to do whatever, and then I'll do another 2 coats. I'm not filming myself paint the last coat because I've used a whole SD card for filming, just the painting alone, so you get it. And I mean, I don't even want to sit through that footage anymore, so. All right, now to conclude, I'm super happy with the look of this, and next week, or the next video I put out, because now they're not every week because life is getting a little bit busy and I have 2 jobs and the YouTube, so it's a little bit much, but the next video I'm going to put out is going to be a small living room makeover, and in that I'm going to be showing how I styled this piece and all the pieces around it. And so you can subscribe and get that video next. And what else did I want to say? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about the prices really quick. So I'll put the price on screen, and it adds up, okay? So should you spend 3 days doing an IKEA flip and $300? I don't know. I can't decide that for you, but you could definitely let me know if you decide to do it. All right, well, stay tuned for the small living room makeover, and I'll see you next time, and thank you for watching.